vow to fight on in bid to recall Natasha as the Senate, from the Senate rather, as court bars her and Akpabio from speaking to the press. And later on, we'll share this with you. Council of Maritime Transport Unions and Associations, COMTUA, vows to stop participating in the call-up system at the Nigerian Post Authority, NPA, through the Truck Transit Park Limited. Let me announce I'm hanging out with team leader, the essential Babajide Kolade Otitoju, BKO. BKO, I greet you.
Good afternoon, the citizen.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, viewers.
BKO, we are joined by the Ekiti proud son, Majid Jamil. Majid, I greet you too. Welcome.
Always a pleasure.
From the rustic town of Igbemo.
Okay.
The rice-growing community.
Okay.
Ekiti.
I will grow a lot.
Now I know that.
Some of the rice that you hear about in Lagos, that's your father, a lot of it comes from Igbemo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, okay, MJ, I'm queuing. All right, so you see the team is ready. I hope you are. All right, now, let's start like this. You know, it is said that the best way to predict the future is to invent it. That is simply innovation. As a way of thinking out of the box, Senate leader Akpabio Bamidele has elected to propel his constituents. The Ekiti Central Senator kick-started his renewed hope mega empowerment for the area, where more than 5,000 constituents from the district benefited. Beneficiaries drawn from the 5 local government areas within the senatorial district benefited from minibuses, tricycles, autocycles, and generating sets, okay? So there's no end to this thing. And the Senate leader says this is just the beginning. So better days ahead, okay? Just a tip of the iceberg, but we'll share the story with you. Let's go there.
On a quiet street in Aramoko, Ekiti, 50-year-old Ajewole Kehinde is finally living her dream. After years of mastering the art of tailoring, what stood in her way was a single sewing machine until now. Thanks to Senator Akpabio Bamidele's empowerment program, Kehinde is now a proud business owner.
I have gone for apprentice for 3 years, but no machine. But today, give me machine that I will use to.
She's just one out of nearly 5,000 people whose lives have been touched by the Senate leader's initiative, an effort aimed at lifting residents of Ekiti Central out of economic hardship and into opportunity.
Also part of what the government is encouraging us to do on your behalf, and we'll continue to be at our best. We'll continue to do all we can to make you enjoy some of the basic dividends of democracy.
At the event, dignitaries including Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji praised Senator Bamidele for what they call a bold step in practicing true, impactful representation.
While congratulating the beneficiaries, on behalf of all of them, I say a big thank you, sir, to you for being a fit, a proper, and a worthy representative of your people. This is one empowerment that is visible to the blind and that is audible to the deaf. What is happening here today is what is possible when there's unity among political leaders.
We have trained approximately 2,000 small businesses and beneficiaries, and then the next step is to give them these work tools and equipment to go and increase their productivity, by so doing reduce the high rate of unemployment in Nigeria.
For many in the crowd, this initiative goes beyond handouts. They see it as a real investment in people, one that can transform lives, rebuild communities, and boost the economy of Ekiti State. And as the program expands, residents are hopeful. They believe this kind of empowerment will inspire a new wave of entrepreneurs and innovators across Ekiti and even beyond. Adeola Aderibigbe, TVC News, Ado Ekiti.
Many thanks, Adeola. Biko and Jami, there are better days ahead. It tells you it can be done.
Yes, and you see, Just as Majid was telling us before we came on air,
Yeah.
unless you see the pictures, you will never believe that somebody went this far by way of empowerment
That's it.
of his constituents. This reminds me of the very powerful empowerment program that the late Ifeanyi Uba did
Okay. In his Anambra.
in Anambra State.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah.
This one is in that class. Look at what we are talking about here. 10 diesel-powered tractors, 10 engine-powered tractors, all to support mechanized farming.
That's it, yeah.
146 organic liquid fertilizers and 57 corn seeders for local farmers. 536 sewing machines, 303 chest freezers, hair dryers, tailoring equipment, makeup kits, 100,000 business grants awarded to 1,900 individuals to scale up their needs, 180 motorcycles, 165 tricycles, 20 minibuses, 1,000 mathematical sets, 10,000 school bags, 1,000 calculators, 40,000 notebooks to students in public schools throughout the senatorial district. Senator Akpabio is a leader, and he has shown that he's indeed a leader.
Yeah.
This is what we expect to see. We are not saying that representation should be limited to simply sharing empowerment.
Yeah.
We also expect our leaders in the National Assembly to bring projects.
Bring it home.
Infrastructure projects are long-lasting.
Okay.
And there's no way you will cause a gigantic project to be brought to your constituency and people will forget easily. No. My wish and my prayer is that the individuals who have benefited from this will not simply go and sell those generators, sell those hair dryers, sell those sewing machines. They should use them to better their own well-being. This is all we expect from them, nothing more.
MJ, do you know that, let me come from another angle, I'm sure you understand. If local governments are able to get their funding directly, as is in the works, what Senator Bamidele is doing can be
replicated.
Yeah, across board. And so emphasis on the center will be less.
Yeah. We have 109 senators.
Okay.
If each senator out of the 109 can do 1/10 of what MOB did on Thursday. This was on Thursday in Ekiti at the, they call it, that place is called Ekiti Parapo Pavilion. It's like the size of the National Stadium, or rather Teslim Balogun Stadium. It can seat about 20,000 people. The whole place was filled up. You can see what BKO read out here, and as we can see, you can see them on your screen.
Pictures don't tell lies.
Yeah. Some of them are not even listed here.
Yeah, so about 5,000 people benefited from the old mega empowerment.
Okay.
But the one that interests me most is those tractors. Those tractors, 10 of them diesel powered, the other 10 is electrically powered. Those 20 tractors will do what 20,000 farmers will do. Which means it will take agriculture a lot higher from subsistence to commercial farming. It will ease the burden of those farmers who will have to hire labor or even hire tractors to do their job. Because those tractors now will be coming, even if they are going to pay for it, it will be subsidized. But see, then the sewing machines, there are a lot of ladies now and even gentlemen who train in sewing and fashion and
related
trades who lacks the funds to establish themselves.
For a takeoff.
For a takeoff. That's the key word. And apart from that, he also gave 100,000 cash grants to about 1,000 individuals. So it's like BKO said, Ifeanyi Ubah, may God bless his soul, did a similar thing. The other person that did that, yes, yeah, the other person that did that is Yayi, Senator Olamilekon Yayi from Ogun West. You see, and this is so massive, and you could see the whole place was filled up. Kudos to Senator Michael Opeyemi Bamidele. And this happened in 5 local governments. You know, he was in Ekiti for a week, where he also, in collaboration with all the National Assembly members, both senators and the House of Rep members, they decided to employ doctors and nurses as their own contribution to healthcare delivery in Ekiti State. They are going to be paying for those doctors and nurses. So the governor made the announcement earlier this morning. So what he has done with his leadership, and you know, is the Senate leader, is the majority leader of the Senate. I mean, he's really leading by example, and we can only encourage him to continue and even do more, and also to encourage other senators to let these things go around. Well, it might not be in this magnitude, but at least do some empowerment, not just once in a while. Yeah. I mean, and this is not the first time the senator is doing this. And it's not as if we are approaching an election, but so that some people will say it's because he's looking for another term or something. That's why he's doing it. I mean, this is just routine. I think he does this like 2 or 3 times in every cycle. It's on his second year of his second term at the Senate, and also his 3rd term in the National Assembly. He started with reps, now graduated to Senate. So it's really done well, and I employed, just like Biko said, those constituents who benefited from this not to go and sell them. They should utilize this. Take advantage. They should take advantage and also allow it to impact on others.
After all, BK, as we say, the only way to predict the future is to create it.
Yes, so and the future is here.
It is here.
It's here.
It's no magic. We wish Ekiti Kete, right? Ekiti Kete people, wish them well and wish they can take advantage. Again, this is an open sesame. I hope other lawmakers are watching and they are taking note. All right, now to our next story. You know, open defecation is not only a scourge, but poses a significant health hazard, particularly in developing countries. Popular Nigerian artist Martins Vincent Ose, a.k.a. Very Dark Man, stole the headlines just the other day when he lost his cool with a young man caught defecating in public on top of a Lagos bridge. The man was forced to pack his excrement even as he was filmed doing so. The message remains that we must imbibe a culture of punishing bad behavior, MJ.
Well, for Very Dark Man, this is a very good one, honestly. The Lagos state government have had to, especially between, if you are coming into Lagos from Ogun State, from the Long Bridge, from way before. As we are approaching Baga, you see people defecating right in the median. Openly in daylight. I've not seen anything like that in daylight. And there are public toilets here and there in those places, but no.
They are supposed sane people, though.
Sane people, I mean, so do blame government for that. You go right on the median where everybody is looking there in the afternoon and you are defecating. So beyond VDM making a mess of this person and showing to the world what that person did, beyond that, I think the Lagos State Ministry of the Environment should push out some of its sanitary law enforcers to go after characters like this and get them arrested, because they do it right in the open, especially around that Baga Ojota axis. You see them.
But I hope this is not giving you a bad day. Within town, in the Oshodi axis, I'm sorry to say this. As you drive in the AM, as you drive through Oshodi. Yeah,
but no, that's another one. They hide under the cover of darkness. I mean, in the Oshodi area, they will mess the environment, especially the railway crossing area. They do that. So you just get to, I mean, those who want to board the train in the morning, like 8 a.m., you just see it fresh. But the one on Baga or Jota axis, you will see them 10 a.m.
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight, doing their thing there, defecating, right on the median. I mean, that road has just been, I don't think it's up to 2 years old. No, there's concrete pavement, I'm looking very clean. But in less than a week, 2 weeks, if you have the misfortune of trying to look at what is going on there, you will see
your eyes will be assaulted
everywhere. Human excreta, not of cows or dogs, human beings, right in broad daylight. It's quite nauseating.
It's, you know, open defecation is a global problem.
Yes.
What baffles me is the fact that despite the fact that our population is way smaller compared to the population of India. We have overtaken
Pakistan,
we have overtaken India in the area of open defecation. It's such a national disgrace. And the other day when cholera was ravaging the states of our country, Lagos State then decided that, okay, let's do something about open defecation, because when flies perch on excrement and they perch on food or contaminate water,
anything is
people
possible.
Drink, you go down to cholera, you'll be afflicted by cholera.
It's the easiest
what very dark man did is very, very commendable.
Oh yeah.
We do not always agree with him, but in
for once
disgracing this fellow, very dark man deserves to be praised. He behaved as a patriot. And this guy was defecating on the bridge leading to the airport. You can imagine. When people come into our country, they use the airport.
That's where they use.
They use the airport. Come into our country, they see us for who we are.
Oh yeah.
And their impressions about us, they see it so early in the day. They make their impressions about us so early in the day. So how do you defecate in the open? No shame. And it was in the night when vehicles headlamp flashes in his direction, he will take his eyes away.
The place is even well lit.
You know? Look at him. So he forced him, he threatened to beat him up, so he was forced to pack it. He's absolutely shameless young man. But we see even the Badagry Expressway that is yet to be delivered, that they are still constructing. People are defecating on the median already. People are defecating. Look at the figures. You know, the proportion of people practicing open defecation has not changed in the last 5 years. With the number actually increasing from 46 million in 2019 to 48 million in 2021. So it has not significantly gone down. Rather, by the 2021 figures, it has gone up. So then on August 22, 2024, Lagos State government vowed that they will commence prosecution. They've actually started these mobile courts.
Okay.
When they arrest them, especially on that Baga area,
okay,
they prosecute them. The Ogun State end is worse. But these boys are also coming to defecate around the overhead bridge in the Alausa, or is it Alausa area. You know that overhead bridge?
Yes, yes.
That area coming forward a little bit, they are defecating from it. So by the time you get...
No sense of shame.
No. So in fact, some people, if there are toilets, because there are public toilets in some areas, but people will still prefer not to pay the little token to use the public toilet. They will prefer to go and defecate in the open without shame. Somebody who has children, you see him undressing and defecating in public. It's such a national shame. Now, even the people, the drains in that area, they are clogging the drains with excrement.
Okay.
Come on, some of our people just behave like animals. It's unfortunate. And getting that guy to pack the excrement,
yes,
I give very dark man salute. Because he kept threatening him, I will slap you, and you know he's muscular. So the boy must have felt, look, if I cause this guy to engage in a hand combat with me, you know, it will be a rout. So the boy was not prepared to be thoroughly beaten up. He then agreed, then he packed it with his own hands. So this is a lesson, and I'm happy that even his face is showing. So he's been given the disgrace of his life. Hopefully he will think twice about openly defecating. Look at a place like this, the bridge leading to the airport. Come on. Very dark man, thank you. I don't always agree with you, but this one, I'm on the same page with you. God bless you.
All right. Very dark man, I think your skin is becoming light.
Martins would say. You may not be darker than me, but I appreciate what you've done.
All right, then, to our next story. You know, the slang Yahoo refers to a group of internet fraudsters who have adopted it as a way of life. There is a school where this infamous lifestyle is taught is the height of rubbing insult upon injury. The Lagos State Police Command has uncovered a building in the Iju area used for internet fraud training, popularly known as Yahoo School. 4 experts, among them 2 siblings who had been, they've been at the school, were arrested along with 6 trainees. Are we awake? Are we awake?
It beats my imagination. I mean, this is not the first time this is happening. I think about 2 months ago, the police raided a whole building in Lagos where about 700 Chinese nationals were arrested, and some Nigerians, Nigerian collaborators, doing a similar thing like this. Now, this Iju raid, the report by Benjamin Hundeyin, the statement he released on Friday disclosed that 10 of the trainees were recruited from Anambra. I mean, if you see the names, they are all names from a particular part of the country. But of course, it mentioned that 10 of them were recruited from Anambra. I mean, you came all the way from Anambra to Lagos to come and learn how to defraud people. Yahoo Plus, internet frauds, I mean, all those scam marriages and what have you. That is what they are being thought to do. I mean, I can't imagine that. Now,
Sorry, would you know if they are giving certificates? I don't know.
maybe until we dig deeper. I mean, but one thing which Undeyin said, which I quite like, is that the case has been transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department, and that the owner of that building should report at Yabatu at the SCSD. And also cautioned that landlords, caretakers, realtors renting out their apartments should find out what use that apartment will be put into, because they might be culpable. In fact, they will be culpable. Because where you allow criminals to fester, to be trained, you are also culpable. It's like somebody letting out his house to armed robbers. By the time they come for a raid, that place becomes a crime scene.
Yeah.
So whether you are the owner of the property or you are the caretaker or whatever, you are also liable, because you should profile whoever you are putting in your apartment.
Yeah.
So kudos to the police, but they still need to do more, because there are several of such schools everywhere. Several. In fact, they even have online classes.
Okay.
So the police need to do more. And it's a good one that they have been able to bust this one. But they really, I mean, these guys are youngsters. You could look at their age, 22, 18, 19. Those who are still supposed to either be in school or youth service or
going through
a trade, a learning process. But they are rather, they want to choose the quick quick, cruel, and fast way.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to be another hush puppy. Yes, that's what they want to do. But then they should know that they will always have their day in court.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The justice will be served. It won't last forever.
Yeah, because so sometimes you begin to ask, how did we get here?
Yeah, it's because parents, I can say the community is failing in the area of bringing up kids.
Yeah.
Kids are supposed to be brought up to be moral champions. But that is not the case anymore. In fact, if you are fraudulent and you have so much money, the society will hail you to high heavens. They will lay the red carpet for you to pass. And people who are decent, who stubbornly hold on to the truth, who have strength of conviction, we hate them. We call them names. We disparage them. If a policeman is so rigid in the performance of his duties, he becomes the object of hate, ridicule, and disrespect from his colleagues and even people outside of the police force. So we ought to teach, as parents, we ought to teach moral rectitude at all times.
Yeah.
The Yorubas will say, that your son is not a dry cleaner or a washerman.
And they go ahead to say, kakakogenika umborokafu, rather than clip the finger.
I will get there. So rather than your son is not a washerman, he brings clothes home.
Yeah.
You should ask questions. You should ask him where he gets those clothes. If his job is not to wash people's clothes, how come
he's having
he has so many clothes in his custody? So, and just as you said, rather than cut the finger, you are actually adorning the finger with rings.
Give him the impetus.
Yes, that means you are encouraging him to continue to do evil. These days, we even hear of parents forming themselves into groups, parents of Yahoo boys.
I heard that.
The prevalence,
I thought,
the prevalence of advanced fee fraud in our country is worrisome. More and more young people seeing some of their colleagues make it from Yahoo Plus or Yahoo Plus Plus, which involves even the use of money-making rituals, are also taken to it. They don't want to look for work anymore. They just believe that once they're out of school, there are no jobs out there. And rather than take to farming or hard work, generally, go for hard work, they want to do Yahoo. And once they become rich, even their parents will be proud of them. That is why this thing will not stop. Hush Puppy and other people who of questionable character, they get hailed by musicians in our country. Our people praise them to high heavens. They love them. That's why young people want to be like such people who will go into a nightclub and spend about 10 million at once. They want to live such lives of luxury and pleasure. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to get their hands soiled in hard work. They simply want to make money through fraudulent means. After all, Hush Puppy and the rest of them, they make money through fraudulent means and they are popular. So that is how we got here. The descent to immorality in our country is something of tremendous concern. We need our schools, the National Orientation Agency needs to come up with a project that prioritizes living in the right way and showing that decency, moral latitude, fantastic work ethos pay in the final analysis. The get-rich-quick syndrome is something that we have to attack. We have to get our young people to realize that there is nothing they gain from this get-rich-quick syndrome because ultimately it is destruction that will come their way. Now, you can see the EFCC, they raid hotels all over the place because you see a boy of barely 15 years. He will bring in guests of his own age. They will lodge in hotels, take over most of the rooms in the hotels. That's why they are raiding them. And in the process, the EFCC will embarrass innocent people who are not fraudsters, who just came to have a good time on their own. It's not a crime to have a good time. White people set aside their time, maybe during their annual leave, to come and enjoy in other parts of the world. You see them at the beaches and all that.
They call it vacation.
Yes, they don't take it lightly. So our people too, those who have made their money genuinely, they have the right to take their families out to go and enjoy life outside of their communities of residence. But if they, sometimes when they are in those hotels, the FCC will come, will tell everybody to hands up, they will raid the place, and then take these innocent people away because they are looking for Yahoo boys. I was in one hotel in Abeokuta. I was shocked at the number of young boys who are barely 17. And I saw even some of their roommates too, some of them with barely breasts on their chest. They were there, they were just
smoking shisha.
And they lodged here.
Yes.
Well, we can... At such a young age, people already exposed to sex and alcohol. We are losing it. Citizens, we are losing it. We are losing it. It's a big problem. Everybody, every young person now wants to be involved in Yahoo, especially the young men. Look, today, if there is vacancy, you conduct a test. Throw it open. You see that more guests will pass the test than men. Because a lot of the men are not even interested in this work, office work. A lot. They are not interested.
They don't want to go within the ranks. No. They
want to get rich quickly.
To blow. They call it. They want to blow.
And
be doing oble.
But what we are saying is not is without prejudice to those young men and women who are making hay, showing the way.
People, our young people, a lot of them are very creative. They are very brilliant. They are very inventive. You see them, you know, creating even apps that give them so much money.
Fintech.
Yes, they are into fintech and all that.
Now, those who are into music and entertainment,
Wizkid is a boy I admire. No less so Davido, you know. They are young men. They believe in industry. You know, in the creative inventiveness.
But these other characters, these Yahoo characters and Yahoo, there is Yahoo, there is Yahoo, there is Yahoo Plus. I mean, they all have different grades. What they want to do is they want to be like a Wizkid and like a Davido and like us.
They want to have money like them.
They want to have money like them. So, I mean,
without working for it.
You see them at the poolside of hotels, tiny things. They're smoking, puffing, doing all sorts of you. Most of them are still probably in school or they have dropped out of school. So you want to know.
Even when they are in school, they don't really go to class. They don't go to class.
What is their source of income?
They bribe their teachers. They don't go to class. Many of these schools, some of these universities here, there is particularly one in the southwest.
Yeah.
You know, that is so notorious for the number of Yahoo boys that are there. That school is not far away from where I'm talking. You know, they are so notorious for the number of Yahoo boys. Those boys don't go to class. They will bribe their teachers and they will pass. It's such a terrible thing. Now you have schools where you train people on advanced fee, fraud.
Yeah.
Come on. Internet
let me drop this here. Many years ago, specifically in the Second Republic, my TV colleague used to ask before he ran his show, do you know where your daughter is? Do you know where your son is? People would laugh. But BKO and MJ, 40 years after, that question is still relevant.
It's even more relevant today.
Yes, it's worse now.
It's even worse.
It's a lot worse now.
Many people don't know what their children are doing.
Yeah. Yes.
They couldn't be bothered. Oh, they have brought the money home and you are applauding them.
And they are not prepared to read.
There's a movie.
There's a reluctance to read.
There's a movie I would recommend to young, growing parents. It's called Adolescence. They should go and watch it. A 13-year-old boy killed his girlfriend. It took the police. In fact, the father couldn't believe it because this boy is always at home, always in his room.
Okay.
13-year-old.
Selling a dummy.
Yes. But the mom said at times he'll go to his room around 1 a.m. You see that he's still on, he will knock. What are you still doing? It's on phone or watching something. It was so clinical, you wouldn't suspect.
All right, we'll leave it there, but let the debate continue. We are losing it. You know, we are losing it, and not too late to make a new start. You know, our next story, you know, these times continue to try men's souls. An imposter, Hadena Hosseini, I hope I got that right, was spotted wearing a police uniform and making inciting comments on social media. He's said to have threatened reprisal attacks on southerners living in northern Nigeria. This is coming from the recent brutal killing of 16 northerners at Uromi in Edo State. Such intemperate attitudes must must be nauseating. You know, the attitude must come from demented minds, don't you think, BKO?
Yes, and you know what he said? I swear to Almighty God.
Oh, yes.
We must do something for you guys.
Yeah.
Have you forgotten all your brothers that are living here in the north? Mark my word, after 1 week, you shall see the result. At a time when we are trying to calm the storm.
That must be coming from a demented mind.
This has come from a deranged mind. Thoroughly irresponsible. I've said it, people are abusing the internet. The internet was not created to be abused in the manner our people are abusing it.
But to
lazy
aid
minds.
Man, to
lazy
help
minds.
Man.
Lazy minds. See what they are doing with the internet. You are using the internet to cause friction between our people in a manner that reminds us of what happened in Rwanda.
Oh, yeah.
Where some broadcasters set the nation ablaze.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And that's why people have to be careful. I'm very impressed with the way northern leaders have jumped in and the steps that the governor of Edo State has taken. He went to Kano. I even saw him struggling to speak Hausa, but promising that justice will be served, that the people involved, that all of them will be picked up and all that. And that was reassuring to our people in the north. Senator Barau Jibrin, who has shown that he's a capable leader, was also in the fray. He jumped in to make sure that nerves were calmed. But this is all what this fellow could do. Try to cause problem, trying to trigger an explosion.
Meanwhile, he is an impostor wearing a police uniform.
Wearing a police uniform. He had the guts. Anybody who wears the police uniform illegally should go to jail.
Honestly.
Nobody has the right to wear. Whether if you want to do a skit or you want to do be involved in a
you
drama,
put the institution on notice.
And get the permission to use the police uniform.
Yes.
You can't use the police uniform to commit crime. What he has done now is using the police uniform to commit crime.
To incite,
to try to set our people against one another.
Set people against one another.
And this is somebody who had been dismissed. He had been dismissed from the police. He was belonged to the constabulary, according to the record. He said he was dismissed 2 years ago due to his questionable character. You know? So now see what he's done, trying to incite our people.
He's still keeping the uniform.
Yes. Or maybe he got that one illegally. It's possible.
Maybe he couldn't have kept it.
Yeah, because those constabulary, they are on regular policemen, I mean, those who have retired before, or those who do
the spy police.
Me, I know this. When you are dismissed, everything
is taken from them.
Taken from you.
Maybe he got it
surrender them
illegally.
He must have gotten it illegally. And I think it should be brought. Of course, he has been arrested. He's been taken into custody. I think they should take us through the process of justice being served on him so that he can serve as a deterrent to others. I expect that the Kaduna State Police Command should give us an update on how this guy's matter is sorted, because he didn't do well at all. I mean, he was boasting and busy inciting people. Wearing police uniform.
If his case is one, you are singling out. I told you on air, I was on air this past weekend. Somebody said to me, I be Edo. Because you can imagine, Abiedo, we said we wait for them. I don't know why our governor go to Kano. You know, that's coming from,
mind now.
From a demented brain.
Honestly. And when trouble comes, they take to their heels. You don't see them. They don't have the courage to stand and fight. But you can see them on social media. They make all the noise. But they harbor a mind that is extremely cowardly. They can't stand up for even things that they believe in. But they will make all the noise.
You know, when you said earlier, you took us to Rwanda, April 1994. The idiot went on air and made the statement, kill all the cockroaches, and the country caught fire.
Yes. Today in Rwanda, they've picked up valuable lessons from that.
Picking up the pieces of their lives.
Today in Rwanda, you cannot call yourself a Tutsi.
Or a Hutu.
Or a Hutu. You call yourself a Rwandan.
Yes.
There's nothing like Tutsi. You are a Rwandan. Yes. If you call yourself a Tutsi, you are going to jail straight. You call yourself a Hutu, you are going to jail straight. So it's the law that we are
one.
One people. No segregation on account of ethnicity.
Yeah.
No more.
But it's gratifying to know that that country...
And the country is making progress.
MJ, a country that almost committed suicide is a go-to. People are fighting to visit the country.
From all over the world, people are going there.
They did a lot on reorientation.
That's it.
A complete 360 in their cultural reorientation.
Yeah.
And that has brought them to that level. And I think we need a similar thing in Nigeria. I see at times the attempts we are making are still not solid enough. We have seen some campaigns, proudly Nigerian, one country, good people. We need something much more deeper. And this is calling to question the national, calling to action the National Orientation Agency.
Yeah.
That agency needs to be funded.
I'm personally missing it.
Honestly. We still talk about the MAMSA till tomorrow.
Yes.
MAMSA.
Who can forget Professor Jerry Ghana?
Yes, you know that you see the
MAMSA days.
MAMSA at that time was properly funded.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, during the military era, appropriation does not go through some of the logjams.
That's a straight back.
And I think this time around we are seeing some changes because we have seen some promotional stuff that the NOA has done under its present leader, Lanre Onilu. You know, what we need more of that. The president needs to back them because the task of reorientating our people is not a simple one. It has to be sustained. So the funding has to improve, and the improvement has to be sustained over time before we begin to see the real impact, before we begin to see NOA doing the job it was meant to do. Because they have staff in all of the local governments of our country.
Okay.
They have the structures in place. It's just the funding, you know, that was not there. When we had one ministry catering to culture, catering to tourism, catering to information, it was not easy. But the president then broke that ministry into two. Tourism has gone its way. You know, standing alone. And information and orientation is now one ministry.
One ministry,
So greater attention will go to national orientation. And I've seen some of the steps that they have taken, you know, by way of trying to make Nigerians take pride in their country. We need to see more of this. We need to see more of this. There was a competition that was organized for secondary schools the other day. In fact, we carried it live. We carried the grand finale live. It's part of what the NOA, because it was NOA that organized, it's part of what they are trying to do.
From all the zones and now did the grand finale.
Catching them young and getting them to see Nigeria in the right light at such a young age. Because some people have been made to believe that Nigeria is a passing phenomenon, that it's a country that is about to die, it's a country that people should not take pride in. Some of our people abroad, this is what they are planting in the heart of young people. You know, yet in their hearts they know that there's no country like Nigeria. They still come home during Christmas and at other times to do what they dare not do in their countries of residence. So in their hearts, they know that there's no place like home. They come here to still do. Well, look at the whole idea of Dirty December. And I know so many people are saying, look, next December must certainly find me here. That is because it's not everything about Nigeria that is bad. A lot of people see everything bad about Nigeria because they don't like the government that is in power.
Yeah.
So because that they choose to see the country.
They tie everybody,
Yes.
everything.
Some
everybody.
demented people were even saying that the military should take over. I saw young people who were in their diapers when we were experiencing military rule, and we lost some of our friends. I said, these people don't know what they are talking about.
What they are talking about.
The things
Their
you say
freedom will
about
be
the president,
taken away.
it will be taken away in a jiffy.
Yeah.
The things that you say about the president, during the military rule, you dare not say it. You lose your life.
You dare not.
Yeah.
They will accuse you of coup plotting. They will put your name on the list of coup plotters.
I mean,
and you will be gone.
You'll be tried for treasonable felony.
Even in Rwanda, will you abuse your president openly?
Oh, yeah.
And expect that you will leave? Even if you leave that country, some of them, I know some people who made the habit of abusing Kagame. Even in foreign land, they were taken away. They were wasted. So where an individual calls the president names and says so, in fact, the Nigerian president is easier to abuse him than to abuse a local government chairman.
Okay.
Because the local government chairman stocks will locate your house and serve you justice.
On his behalf.
Yes, people can abuse a Nigerian governor as much as they abuse the Nigerian president. This is the truth. Did the Nigerian governor not order that somebody be flogged the other day?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So this is the point that we are making. We can't hate our country because we do not like the man who is president today. He's not going to be there forever, but our country remains forever. So we must love our country and not contribute to diminishing it in any way.
That's it. That's it. The times, as I said, keep trying men's souls. And we can't continue, MJ, to make a mess of boiling a 5-minute egg. Tell a Nigerian the egg must boil for 5 minutes. Go back there 30 minutes, he's still boiling it.
Yeah.
And he's defending it.
A lot of we need honestly serious reorientation as well.
Oh yeah,
said.
we need it.
We need it.
All right, folks, we'll take a break here. Have a commercial session. We should be back very shortly. Please stay with us. Thank you.
The Inspector General of Police has met with senior officers to review the state of security.
We are continuing our coverage of the arrest of Godwin Emefiele.
The Senate has summoned the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to properly brief the Senate regarding the state of the economy.
What I will never take.
Let's now bring you more development from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where an explosion has taken place. Tell us about this incident.
TVC News. First with breaking news. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Sometimes it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
I need students, but I need teacher.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything.
If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet sour taste for all. Their demands, a familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, North and South. Community Forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time?
First, with breaking news.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is still Journalist Hangout on a Sunday. The ugly harvest of deaths in my country, your country, has refused to go away. Police in Benue State have thankfully rescued the passengers abducted on Thursday night near Otukpo. 14 kidnapped victims were rescued by police and Benue Civil Protection Guard. Now, 2 of the passengers, including the driver, got killed in the crossfire. How long more shall we wait to call the bluff of these merchants of death? Majid.
It's quite sad. The killings in Edo still comes to memory.
Oh yeah, fresh.
They took the hunters for kidnappers.
Yeah.
But this one, the kidnappers succeeded in abducting 14 passengers out of 16 traveling along Otukpo in Benue. They killed the driver on the spot. He was shot. He died on the spot, while another passenger sustained gunshot wounds inflicted on him by the kidnappers. They now took the remaining 14 passengers away in the wee hours of last week. But the police and the Benue Civil Defense guards were able to accost the kidnappers. They engaged in a gun duel inside the forest, where there was a serious exchange of gun battle and fire. So, unfortunately, 2 of the victims died, while some of the kidnappers also escaped with gunshot wounds. It's so sad that we lost some of the rescued some of the passengers that were rescued. I mean, 2 of them died. But I think we should commend the police and the Benue security for quickly ensuring that it didn't last for longer than necessary. It didn't take more than 3 or 4 days before they were rescued from the kidnappers. And they have also sent notices out that they are sure that some of the kidnappers sustained gunshot wounds. So there's a notice out there for people to be on the lookout of anybody who comes to treat gunshots. I mean, at least the case is not like that of that retired NYC DG, who was held captive for 56
days
before
and made to go through excruciating experience.
So it's not always a good story to tell in the dens of these kidnappers. I mean, it will be good to see how we can end these kidnappings and banditry once and for all in Nigeria. It's really, really traumatizing. It's an experience I don't even pray for my enemy.
Essentially because many states, including mine, and I dare say yours too, have criminalized kidnapping to the point of making it a capital offense.
I think most states should imbibe that. And anybody that has been caught as a kidnapper and that has gone through the court process and it's established that, yes, this one is actually a kidnapper, they don't have any...
Should pay the price.
The capital, because what they put the people through, at times some of them, look at the case of the lawmaker in Anambra, they took the ransom, they still killed him. They killed that lawmaker.
How do you explain that?
So it's something that should not be handled with levity. When they are caught, they should be dealt with, face the capital punishment. That's what I think.
Because so we are not out of the woods yet.
No, we are still very much in the woods. Kidnapping has become such a big business in our country. It's a multi-billion naira business, and people would not give up easily on any piece of business with a high turnover, with a high profit margin. They will not give up easily. These people were ambushed on an 18-seater bus belonging to Benue Links. They ambushed it on the 3rd of April, killing the driver and the passenger who sat in the front seat and abducting the other passengers. Then the next day, the police sighted the bandits in the forest and engaged them in a gun duel. The bus departed Makurdi and was heading for Otukpo at the time of the kidnap. Increasingly, kidnappers are targeting bus passengers, especially students. On the 17th of August 2024, they kidnapped more than 20 medical students in Otukpo, Benue State. Then on the 31st of December 2024, government kidnapped prominent Benue community leader, Dikin Emmanuel Yaji. On the 26th of February, government kidnapped 4 Benue University students. So in that area, in that Benue area, kidnapping is a big problem. It's a big problem, along with killings by criminal headsmen who go into people's communities to take people's lives. So we need to improve in the area of securing our people and their properties. Government has to step up efforts. Every time I read about kidnapping, my blood boils because I know we can do much better in terms of protecting our people.
But we must commend police.
Yes,
when the police want to really...
because it's not easy.
Not easy.
When they go into the bush to engage kidnappers in a gunfire, exchange of gunfire, that is putting their own lives on the line.
Risk, That's it.
So we have to commend them and their success, the success they recorded in rescuing those guys. So an 18-passenger bus, 2 persons died in the hands of the kidnappers, though. You know, but once they sighted the police, they took to their heels. We need this kind of response. Because if we had waited a little bit, then we will have lost the opportunity to rescue those people. So we need rapid response. We need quick response. Once these things happen, they must get to the scene quickly. And these people can't defeat the state, no matter who they think they are. They cannot defeat the state. So we need to put in more efforts.
MJ, you know, a cynic said once, and I tend to believe it. Kidnapping has become the new armed robbery. It's cheaper than armed robbery. Sometimes you shoot a lot, fire a lot less bullets, but make so much money.
That's why I get angry when I heard that Evans, that notorious kidnapper who has been sentenced to life, is now seeking a plea bargain that is willing to
turn in some
after 2 people's lives.
After the property which he wrongfully.
Now, can he also bring back the lives he has taken? Those who have lost their families. I think those guys should go and face him in court. Can he bring back those lives that he has taken?
He's wasting his time. Nobody will free him.
I don't even think that kind of
place. He said he's gone to school, he has acquired degrees. So what?
That he had a past, he had distinction.
Before, during, or after?
That he had distinction.
That's his problem.
And so fucking what?
That's his problem. Let's go, Susan.
Well, gentlemen, as I say, the debate, let it continue in your part of town. Ours is to give context and clarity to the issue. All right, to our next story now. You know, but then let's go on a break, another commercial break. We should be back. The Backroom Boys say it is time for us to make some money. Why not? Let's go on a break and come back. Thank you.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every second, every minute, every hour, and every day, time doesn't just tick away. It's a countdown to political decisions that shape our world.
This country must move.
Imagine the impact these decisions have on our lives. Some are consequential, others may leave us intrigued or baffled.
You will have no better friend and partner than Nigeria.
Step in and feel the frenzy like never before. Join me every weekday for an hour of fact-finding interviews where questions cut to the core.
How would you say your administration has fared in these sectors?
I will dig in to get to the heart of issues, from local politics to global insight. Join me as I unearth the power plays, jaw-dropping revelations, and the unfiltered truth. This isn't just politics, it's unraveling the stories that matter. Brace yourself for Politics Tonight every weekday at 8 p.m, where every decision echoes along the corridors of our lives. Politics Tonight, only on TVC News.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Albert Chinua Lumogu Achebe was born November 16, 1930 in Ogidi, Nigeria. He went to Government College in Umuahia, Nigeria. In 1948, Achebe won a scholarship to the University of Ibadan to study medicine, but after a year, he changed his major to writing. After graduation in 1953, he became a script writer for the Nigerian Broadcasting Service.
It would appear that the deal has hit a brick wall and therefore stalled. Oil marketers are disillusioned and they want a probe of the deal. The umbrella body, the Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, has called on the Minister of State for Petroleum, Senator Heineken Lokpobere, to conduct a proper probe. What do we pour on troubled oil, BKO?
You see?
We say we pour oil on troubled waters. Oil is troubled.
Yes. You use diamond to break diamond, because diamond is by nature very hard.
Hard, yeah.
So it is diamond that I used to cut diamond. The whole Naira for crude policy is something that most of us do not understand. And why it was stopped by the NNPC at the time they did, they've not come out to explain to us. Because, yes, it was meant to terminate at the end of March, but it was terminated, that's 6 months, the window.
Okay.
It was supposed to terminate at the end of March, but it was terminated before the end of March. So what happened along the way that we didn't even allow it to get to the terminal date that was set in the documents put together at the time of the inception of this policy? What Nigerians are worried about is the impact that the cessation of this policy could have on pricing. Nigerians don't want to buy petrol or petroleum products at a price that is higher than what they are buying it now. It's not a thing of joy for me as a Nigerian to see us buy petrol at maybe 1,000 naira per liter. No, it makes no sense. And one of the reasons for this is because even our currency is weak.
Okay.
So the landing cost will inevitably go up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of what we use is imported. Even if it is not imported, crude oil is priced in foreign currency. So you need a currency that is strong enough to withstand the shocks. But since crude oil is priced in foreign currency, the price is not totally, determining the price is not totally in our hands. You get the point that I'm making. Because if your currency is weak against the dollar, for example, it will impact on pricing. But if we show up our currency, we make it stronger, we do our best to make it stronger, and we produce a lot more for export.
Market forces will be at play now.
Market forces will be at play. But I'm saying that the value of our currency is crucial to the price. It's crucial in determining the price at which we buy petroleum products.
Yeah.
Because ab initio, crude oil is denominated in foreign currency.
Yeah.
So that is one part of the story. Now the president said, okay, that he wants local refineries to be able to access crude oil through the National Oil Company, NNPCL.
Okay.
And the struggle that people have looking for foreign currency to buy the product from NNPC, the president decided that, okay, let's get them to buy in Naira. It will be a lot easier for them. They don't have to go and be shopping for foreign currency in black market and all that, which will affect pricing because of the volatility of the foreign exchange market in our country. Now, that policy is good. I disagree with people who are saying, oh, he's going to do this, going to weaken our capacity to make money from oil and all that. The president and others must have considered that, that it is better for us to have sustained refining, for us to have stability in terms of pricing. When the president decided that, okay, let us do this.
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
What we need to do is do our best, reduce to the barest minimum importation of petroleum products. Some people don't want importation to end. But at the end of the day, foreign currency that we could have used for something else, we are using it to bring in refined petroleum products.
Yeah.
There's no way that can be helpful in the final analysis. Yes, in a deregulated economy, people are free to bring in. I'm not subscribing to the idea of banning importation, but we must reduce importation.
Yeah.
NMPCL, as the president mandated the new board, must be able to improve refining capacity to 200,000
2 million barrels.
No, refining capacity is different from production, crude oil production capacity. Refining to 200,000 barrels
per day.
Yeah.
That's refining. So crude oil, the president wants us to be able to do 2.5 million barrels in the medium term and 3
by 2030.
3 million barrels in the long term.
Yeah.
That is the goal. So if we want to do 200,000 barrels
per
day as our refining capacity, then
refining on the inside.
We should refine a lot more at home.
Yeah.
We should refine a lot more at home.
Save costs.
Save costs. Save for precious foreign exchange. So for me, I want us to go back to this naira for crude thing.
Yeah.
Whatever disagreement they have with Dangote, they should clear that disagreement, because I heard some people saying Dangote is able to outprice others in the market because he's buying product in naira. And some of those people are complaining that it looks like this an attempt to kick us out of the market.
Yeah.
They should come together, solve that problem. But refining capacity must go up in our country.
MJ, you get the impression, as a crude oil endowed country, we should not be yoking under it now. I don't know if you understand. Otherwise, it begs the question, where did we drop the ball?
Yeah, experts have questioned the transparency of the aborted naira for crude policy. The president meant well when he mandated the NNPC to engage in the naira for crude policy. He gave that directive in September. I think it kicked off in October.
Because the PIA allows for it.
Allows for it, yes. And why the president said that is at least to free some, to reduce all this bureaucracy. Because what it means today now, without the naira for crude, is if Dangote wants to buy crude oil from NNPC, it will first go to JP Morgan to source for dollar, or rather JP Morgan or Bank of America, as we have to pass through them to get to pay NNPC in Nigeria. But under the naira for crude, it's the Afrexim Bank that midwifed that session, which is easier and shorter.
Yeah.
But now, what experts are saying, especially Petron, is saying that how do you give a Dangote, for example, 650,000 barrels per day, naira? What is our consumption in Nigeria?
Yeah.
We don't consume more than probably 200,000 barrels when you convert that to liters. I think we are below between 30 and 40 million liters per day now. So, and if you look at the statistics, that's just about maybe 200, 300, maybe 200, 250,000 barrels. So, now they also argue that petrol is not the only byproduct. PMS is not the only byproduct.
Yeah.
From
at least experts tell us about 42 byproducts.
It's even more than that. It's about 250. Now, today, Dangote exports Jet A1 to Saudi Aramco, and also 2 million barrels to US.
Yes.
GT1.
Oh, yeah.
In a contract. So, if you buy crude in Naira, are you selling to Saudi Aramco
in Naira?
Are you selling the GT1 to America in Naira? So, they are saying that, yes, the Naira for crude, limit it to probably you are doing 100,000 barrels per day to NNPC, Warri and Port Harcourt refinery at 100,000 barrels. Then we are giving Dangote 200,000 barrels out of its 650,000 barrels Naira for crude. So let him pay for the remaining 450 in dollars. Yes, and I think that is where the problem is from. Now, when NNPC stops the Naira for crude, Dangote fired back by saying, okay, come and be buying your...
Increase the price.
No, apart from increasing the price, said, now come and be buying my petrol, my PMS in dollars. So, and petrol, there is a disconnect. Now, to solve all this problem, experts are saying, sell whatever Dangote needs to refine for the local market, sell it to him in Naira.
Yeah.
It's easy to calculate. We have established a pattern in the last 6 months. This will solve this problem. Rather than for Dangote to take all its 650,000 barrels in Naira and changing all of us, or changing the economy.
I think by and large, the problem that they also have is these forward sales that we have done is impacting negatively on supply to domestic refineries. And now that Warri Refinery and Port Harcourt Refinery are working, it will be difficult to give all of what they used to give Dangote to him alone. So they have to also prioritize other refineries. My view is that they are looking for a way around it. Warri needs his own stock of crude oil.
Port Harcourt does.
Port Harcourt also needs his own stock of crude oil. So they have to find a balance for the purpose of domestic consumers. They have to find a balance. They have to agree on so that this policy can continue, because we don't want the price to go up. People in government must realize that it is really killing Nigerians. High energy cost is killing Nigeria. So whatever will bring down energy costs, they should be prepared to do it. They should be think out of the box and find a solution. This is not a policy to throw away midstream. It's a policy that should be sustained in the interest of the ordinary Nigerians.
Okay.
Yes.
Because for now, an energy crisis is a no-no for us.
We don't want the price to go up.
It is even good for stability in the pricing.
Yes, let's have price stability. It enables people to plan.
It's only the Naira for crude that can sustain that, that can ensure that.
All right, folks. Again, the debate would continue. But let's broach the next story. You know, I can tell you that the Senator Natasha Akpabio saga is becoming a dogfight, if you ask me, despite the halting of the recall process by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Constituents of Kogi Central have vowed to push forward, insisting that the process is far from being over. Now, speaking on behalf of the petitioners, Saliu Habib, while expressing gratitude to INEC, reasoned that although the petition failed to meet the threshold, the validation proves that Kogi Central residents do not support the embattled senator. So who blinks first?
Well, the issue, the more germane issue now It's not even who blinks first, whether Natasha is so much loved and all that. The court has said that
no more interviews.
Natasha, Akpabio, their lawyers, their representatives should button up their lips.
Yeah.
All of the nonsense being said on social media and other places, we are tired of it. We are tired of it. If these people are in government to represent the Nigerian people,
yeah,
then they should put the Nigerian people first.
That's it.
The Nigerian people want to see changes in their well-being, positive changes. They want to see it happen. They don't want discussion about sex and all the rest. It's absolute nonsense. And it's about time that we left this matter and move on to issues more important. Issues that concern you and I.
More engaging.
People who used to be friends who are suddenly now quarreling, it is their problem. They should not make it a national issue. And they've elected to take themselves to court, then the courts handle it. Don't belabor us with your petty squabbles. Nigerians are tired. Most Nigerians know that, look, people in government are not people to be trusted overwhelmingly, because when you trust them, they invariably will disappoint you because they think about themselves nearly all the time.
Oh, yeah.
They rarely care about the people. So, onwe boy, Natasha, Akpabio's age, because Akpabio himself has not really been talking much. The court said, keep quiet. Allow me, the judge says, allow me to determine this matter.
That's it.
And this is what I've always said. I said on this program that Natasha should not bother herself going to the Senate to try to seek justice or redress in this matter. Her best bet is to go to the court. You don't expect in a Senate where not one individual spoke in favor of you, where not one individual got up to say, no, don't treat Natasha in this way. Let's handle a matter in a subtle way. Not one person got up to say, I support Natasha. In that sense, nobody. All of the women, not one of them supported her.
All the women.
So is that the same Senate where you then expect you are going before them to present a petition about alleged sexual harassment, sexual indiscretion? In fact, I've seen some bloggers call it sexual assault. The woman never said she was sexually assaulted. So it is borderline illiteracy to call what has happened sexual assault. How is this sexual assault? What, did they know the meaning of assault again? You know? So we always want a situation in which when things like this happen, let the courts handle it. Because Akpabio enjoys tremendous support from that Senate. 2 times now since this matter broke up, he received confidence vote. That is not where Natasha will get any form of justice, except she's deceiving herself.
Or redress.
So go to the court. Go to the court. Take the matter of harassment to the court. Front load your evidence and hold the documented evidence. Hold it in your hand. When you appear before the court, you present the evidence to the court, and Nigerians will see what has happened. That's what we want to see. They should stop assaulting our nostrils with the smelly stories that are coming out there all the time. So, and all of them who are abusing, who are using so much foul language, they need to stop it at this point. You know what happened in the Senate when Obi and a young man that she is capable of giving back to while exchanging words in a very responsible manner. We don't want to see that.
All because of Natasha.
They are crazy
All
distractions.
because of an individual. These are distractions, big-time distractions. Let's focus on governance. We don't need this drama. That's why we are not making progress as a country, because things that we should prioritize, we do not prioritize.
Yeah.
So the court has said, stop all this nonsense. Stop all the rubbish that is going on, all of what you are saying about yourself. Imagine even bloggers now. Somebody claimed that Akpabio called Natasha in the dead of night and asked her, what dress are you wearing? Can I see what you are wearing? And immediately, then he sent 500 million. You're transferring 500 million from a phone. This is what our nurseries are being subjected to. Arrant nonsense. I cannot talk about some of what I read in that story.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Natasha has come out to say it's a lie. But people, there was another one that I saw where they said Akpabio burst into tears when he saw Natasha's helicopter. I said, what is going on? Madness all over the place.
Yeah, so, they even did an AI-generated
yes, where he was watching
a video of Natasha's
yes. So, see, there are more pressing issues. People are on the streets who do not know where their next meal will come from. We want government to focus on that. That should be our attention. And the Nigerian people should challenge their government. Get their government to do what is right. So instead of all this talk about sex in high places and all that nonsense, we are not interested.
MJ, earlier on, you talked about, we discussed regulating the social media use in this country. The thing came to aid man, not to take over thinking for man, if you understand me.
We have so many lazy people now, so-called content creators, the things that happen, the ones that didn't happen. And like what you said, the day Natasha took that shopper to Kogi, somebody pictured Akpabio, quote and unquote. I mean, and people were already believing, they were commenting. Akpabio was,
watching on the laptop.
Watching on the laptop how Natasha.
Yeah, I liked it from.
And Akpabio was not shaking. Still photograph.
I mean, that is what we have degenerated to. Senate, that's the highest law-making body in Nigeria.
A hallowed chamber.
Hallowed chamber. They have now reduced it to Apoti said this, but Akpabio replied, he said, come and see my chapel in my house. We share the same birthday. And so what?
What is the big deal sharing birthday?
I mean, I love the way the court gave that ruling. Say, guys, stop all this nonsense. Let me take my decision. Let Dossi take its course. Of course, it's almost, now there's so much distraction that some of them have even forgotten what they went to that red chamber to do.
Yes.
That to every day it is.
Every day Natasha.
Versus Akpabio.
Akpoti and Akpabio.
Apo and Napa. I mean, there are skits. There are skits on the thing. There are several things that are flying. I mean, all sorts of unspeakable things that they are making up.
Things that didn't happen.
I mean, I don't
Natasha
understand.
never told anybody that she got 500
million. Some people will not even.
You just sit down
reason.
You're on your phone, you just transfer 500 million.
Can you transfer 50 million from a phone? Is it possible? Is it possible? Haba. So, I think.
Even if it's possible, is that what happened?
Oh.
It didn't happen. The woman said no, nothing like that happened.
To do what?
Okay.
So
and she said, let me see what you are wearing. Are you wearing your 90? Are you on your bed? Oh my God.
Okay.
I mean,
I never knew that day will come in this country where we'll now be discussing this kind of thing. People will be posting. There are some people on social media that are thoroughly abusing the privilege. You just sit down, outright lies. Outright lies.
And some people believe them.
People believe that you see the number of views. Yes, the number of views. And they will believe. You see the comment will show that you see clearly that a lot of the people go to comment section, they are illiterates.
Oh yeah. And we know there are two major ways to be fooled. One is believing what is not true, and two is not being ready to believe what is true.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people are not ready to believe what is true.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
They are not ready.
So I think we need to borrow ourselves some sense, especially on this Akpoti and the Akpabio matter.
All right, folks. Well,
and these were people, family, friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they just let them go and resolve their issues among themselves.
They are taking pictures together.
Family, friends, best friends.
Best of friends.
The Akpabio's wife said it. And before they even said, I said on this program that they were good family friends.
Yeah. Of course.
Suddenly,
if there were no family friends, Natasha and the husband went to celebrate Natasha's birthday in Akpabio's house.
Yeah.
Because they share the same birthday.
Yeah.
So if there was no intimacy, that would not happen.
No doubt about it. The other guy, Natasha's husband is Akpabio's very good friend.
Yeah.
You know?
They are family friends.
Okay.
So they should leave us out of their petty
the
squabbles. Your petty squabbles should not even be
Yeah.
a national affair. It should not be a national affair. We have so many issues that we are battling with. Look at Boko Haram going to slaughter our soldiers in Damboa. We have issues that should bother us.
Begging for attention. All right, folks, let's move on now. Our next story. You know, maritime transportation, as the name suggests, is the process of moving people and goods via waterways. It plays a crucial role in global trade and logistics. In Nigeria, the business is experiencing teething problems, if you ask me. The call-up system, ETO, introduced by the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, to manage truck traffic and reduce congestion at ports, appears to have failed in its mandate. The Council of Maritime Transport Unions and Association, COMTUA, wants to quit the system, even as it has issued a 20-day notice to the NPA. Would we ever get it right?
The call-up system for trucks, especially for trucks coming to load petroleum products, and also articulated vehicles coming to Ababa to pick and drop goods. Containers, 20 feet, 40 feet. I mean, it became so embarrassing at a point. There was a queue from Apapa Port up to Palm Grove, up to Onipan. They queued right on the bridge from Apapa.
Imagine the gridlock.
Yes. So now they devised a call-up system where they are taking, they registered all of them, gave them codes, they will log on to a system, they will log on to an app, and I mean, they were well trained on it. So they stay in Ogere. So when it's your turn, that's along Lagos Ibadan, that's where, when they have a trailer park there and trucks park. So they'll call them from there in 50s, 100s, so that to ease the madness in that we call traffic in Apapa. And that worked for some time. But now, what COMTUA is saying now is some people are now sabotaging the system, you know? So I think we should go back to a situation where we have that system that could be credible again, that these people can that they can trust, because it's like they no longer trust.
Yes, they are losing valuable time.
Welcome to the transformative journey of Gombe State. Like a beautiful bride in the savannah, Gombe State is steadily growing to become a commercial and investment hub, with accelerated development of world-class infrastructure, quality education, and healthcare. The jewel in the savannah, under the visionary leadership of Governor Inuwa Yahaya, is taking giant strides in the quest to making Gombe State a paradise in Nigeria's northeast region. Join us on this adventure every Thursday by 3:30 p.m. as we explore Gombe's transformative journey to greatness.
Ogun State, the gateway to Nigeria, is setting the pace with groundbreaking infrastructure projects and innovative social programs for economic development. Join us every week for Gateway Diary, where we spotlight the incredible initiatives and achievements of Ogun State government under the...
Let me correct one impression that was earlier mentioned by a speaker there. The call-off system has never involved tanker operators. It has only been container carrier trucks that has been involved in the call-off system. And this time that we were mentioning traffic gridlock extending to Pangrove to all parts of Lagos was because there was a major road construction in Apapa. The road leading to the port actually failed, and it was a tripartite arrangement between the federal government, the Nigerian Ports Authority, and some private companies to fix this road. While that was ongoing, it is expected that there will be bottlenecks and there will be issues. And for this reason, trucks are always queuing on the road. And to at least alleviate the sufferings of other road users, the Presidential Task Force was commissioned to assist in maintaining law and order under the supervision of the then Vice President, Professor Oshibaju, Mr. Kayode Okwefa, the former commissioner for the former police commissioner Akim Odumosu, and the rest of them, monitoring the traffic. And after the completion of the road, sanity returned to Akpabio naturally. Now, our association is not against call-off or scheduling of trucks into the port. What we are actually against is the fact that inviting trucks to the port is the responsibility of the Nigerian Port Authority, which they have been doing. The Transport Department of the Nigerian Port Authority have been doing that seamlessly, and we don't have issues with that until that problem of the road construction that was resolved. However, in 2021, the Nigerian Port Authority now contracted a private company, Truck Transit Park Limited, to now take charge of the responsibility of the traffic department of the Nigerian Port Authority to be inviting trucks into the terminal. We mentioned it to them that this system is not workable. Why is it not workable? The Nigerian Port Authority has been, the terminals in the Nigerian Port Authority facility has been concession to private operators. For example, in Apapa, we have AP Mola Terminal, we have Eco Support, we have ENL. These terminal operators determine the truck that comes in and out of their terminals. And each time they mention that they're expecting 100 trucks, before the introduction of the Truck Transit Park Limited, they notified the Nigerian Port Authority Traffic Department that they're expecting 100 trucks, they're expecting 200 trucks, as the case may be, and we all apply online to Nigerian Port Authority, and they list our vehicles to come for that day. It has always been like that. But because the interest of the management of the Nigerian Authority is more of revenue generation, they partnered with this Truck Transit Park Limited to introduce the electronic call-off system to the extent that every trip to Apapa officially will cost a truck 25,000 naira, and unofficially another 200,000 naira to extortionists on the road, because we have various points where these trucks are checked before going into the port. Even at this, the congestion has not stopped, and the effect on our business is such that this process we are talking about is not transparent. It's not transparent to the extent that there is no truck that will go through the system and work more than once or twice in a month. For example, if I am financed by a bank to the extent of 80 million naira for a truck, and I'm expected to pay back in 5 years, and my truck is only allowed to work 2 times in a month because of this call-off system. The process of the call-off is such that we don't even know what truck is ahead of me, what truck is behind me. While I am in the transit park for about 14 days, you still see other trucks going on daily basis on priority. And these trucks are owned by senior military officials. They painted them in military color. They are driven by the members of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Some of these trucks are also owned by members or personnel of this Truck Transit Park Limited. The problem we have with this call-off system is that, one, it is not transparent. The company continues to give excuses on excuses, and we still have the congestion on the road, in addition to the multiple taxation that is involved. As much as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is doing everything to make the standard of living of Nigerians to improve, to reduce the cost or the prices of commodities, this process we are going through is not helping matters. Every container trucker that moves to the port and pay 25,000 naira and other 200,000 naira to get into the port will definitely push the entire bill onto the importer, and it ends as a problem for the final consumers. We are challenging this process, that the process is not transparent. We are challenging it that the process is multiple taxation. We are challenging it because the Nigerian Ports Authority are not even performing their statutory responsibilities. And if anybody is saying the process is working seamlessly, it is not correct. Wow. It is only in Nigeria that we hear that after all the expenses on an imported cargo has been made, you have paid for import duty, you have paid for the terminal charges, you have made all payments. For the truck to come and load the cargo, it will spend another 30 days and 2 weeks to get into the port. It is not healthy. These people are sabotaging the efforts of the federal government. And that is why we are saying we are no longer interested in this business. There's no law establishing TTP to the extent that they must compel me to go into Mr. A's garage and pay, from there to go into another person's garage and pay before coming into the port. And we are, by this medium, telling the Nigerian Ports Authority that henceforth we don't want to participate in this process. We want to come to the port. We will notify you of the number of trucks of our members that will be coming to the port on a regular basis, and we will seek approval from you before coming to the port. The Lagos State government is also on the road, ensuring that the traffic is flowing freely. So what is the business of this Truck Transit Park Limited in the whole of this exercise? And that is what we are contesting.
All right, comrade, we cannot but wish you Godspeed. You know, my colleagues and I appreciate what the problem is. You know, wish you well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. That was Comrade Adeyinka Aroyenwu, President, Council of Maritime Transport Union and Association. That's a COMTUA for short. Gentlemen, the workload ahead.
Yes, there's a lot of there's a lot that needs to change about the way we run our ports, and I agree with him that multiple taxation ultimately ends up badly on the end consumer.
That's it. That's you and I.
Yes, because the burden will be pushed on us. So what are we talking about? If we want the economy to improve, buying and selling should naturally also improve. That's how everybody benefits from the prosperity that our country has. But all of these multiple taxations and all that are not beneficial in the final analysis.
All right. MJ, I'm sure you are in sync.
An example of what the president just said now is the fact that if you have a container that berths at the port, I mean, you want to get your container from the port. Now, transporting the container from the port to probably anywhere in Lagos, to destination within Lagos, normally it shouldn't be more than probably 250 to 300,000. But with this, importers, or now the owners of those goods, are being now forced to pay between 800 and 1 million naira.
Okay.
That's what he just explained. And this is what is causing it.
All right, folks, so we are done. What we do is to integrate issues as they come to us. But everything we do is organized, is regulated by time. Our time is up. We must thank first Babajide Kolade Utitoju. Many thanks for your intervention.
Thank you.
Majid Jamil, thank you for your intervention too. Yeah,
thanks.
And we thank the backroom boys. So that's it on the program, Journalist Hangout for this Sunday. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode of the program, which kicks off at 5 p.m. You may watch the repeat broadcast of this particular episode later tonight at 11:30. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Many thanks for now. Bye-bye now.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
This Sunday, an isolated village in the heart of Oyo town is now a destination for tourists.
It is a normal thing for us to come and witness the magic.
My experience so far has been really amazing.
The vision of a filmmaker, Ibrahim Chata, to create a world-class Afri-Chata film village has birthed modernity and tradition intertwined.
I do everything, every single thing. Here, everything, including the pool. I desire marked.
To what length can a film village give hope to a society of people who have never envisaged development in decades?
The economic activity has boomed.
Olawakon has answers in his adventurous journey to Balogun village. That's on Sunday Specials, where great stories lead.
Every weekday on Business Nigeria, we uncover the secrets of the financial world.
We analyze the stock market, shares, bonds, and the thrilling world of cryptocurrency.
Facts matter. Our team dives deep to separate fact from popular opinion.
We simplify complex government policies as it impacts your everyday life, helping you navigate the ever-changing financial landscape.
Watch Business Nigeria every weekday at 2 p.m. only on TVC News. First with breaking news.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers.